This is Every Woman Killed by Jack the Ripper, Part 2, Annie Chapman. So a week has passed since Polly's death, and although murder was quite common in Whitechapel, there was a distinct feeling that her case was different. And then, the killer struck again. Annie Chapman was the daughter of a Royal Cavalry soldier. She married John Chapman, a baron's coachman in Windsor, and so they were fortunately given a cottage on a grand country estate. But when 4 of their children died suddenly, they turned to alcohol in their grief. And when she relapsed for the final time, she was told to leave. Alone, Annie sunk into poverty and ended up in Whitechapel in 1888. On her last day alive, she'd been in the hospital receiving treatment for tuberculosis. She had no money for her lodging house that night and pleaded for a bed but was turned away. So she snuck into the back garden of 29 Hanbury Street, a crowded slum house which once stood right here, and she tried to sleep, and her body was soon discovered. Like Polly, her throat had been cut and she had severe stab wounds to her abdomen, and her uterus was missing. The brutality of their cases sent shockwaves through the city. All the while, women in Whitechapel continued to die, which leads us to our next 2 victims, and the night that became known as the double event. Come back for part 3.